Blizzard sucks. It's something I don't think I have to tell you all since most of you already know it, but it's important to point out every once in a while. They are a company that people have lots of love and nostalgia for, yet they are always making terrible decisions, and now they have been caught faking a Q&A for Diablo 4 because they're clearly afraid of their own players. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. So starting off with this PlayStationLifestyle.net article, recent Diablo 4 Q&A held by Blizzard was apparently fake. Now this is a game that releases in only a few days. There is a ton of hype surrounding it and it does look pretty freaking good. I did play the beta and I was impressed with what I saw, but unfortunately it's doing things like this that make me hate Blizzard. It says Blizzard Entertainment appears to have taken part in a fake dev Q&A session with the community. Gee whiz, if any company was going to do that, I just can't believe it was Blizzard. This session was hosted by Games Radar Future Games Show, for which the outlet invited fans to send in their question about the upcoming title. Unfortunately, it seems that not enough people responded to the call, so someone decided to create fake fan accounts to ask a series of strangely worded questions. Now, this, of course, is absolutely bullshit, okay? We are not talking about a group of indie developers here who are trying to get their feet off the ground, who are trying to make their game popular, who maybe a lot of people just simply don't follow on social media and even fewer want to ask questions. We are talking about Activision Blizzard here. Millions and millions of gamers around the world follow them, and they could go on Twitter right now out of the blue and say, ask us questions, and they'd get 10,000 responses in the next 24 hours. It is absurd for PlayStation Lifestyle to say it seems that not enough people responded to the call. Oh no, I'm sure there were plenty of people. It's just that they didn't want to listen to them or answer their questions. I also wanted to point out the fact that Future Game Show actually made a tweet about this, saying that the questions were a mix of community and FGS editorial team questions, saying we did not make this distinction clear and have updated the video's headline and its thumbnail. But a lot of people are saying, well, initially when they were collecting questions, it was posted on the official Blizzard Twitter account, so people think that basically Blizzard and their team curated the questions from the community, in quotes, to send over, and now Future Game Show is also trying to say, well, also, we had some of our own questions, so it's just a giant clusterfuck right now. But either way, ultimately, most of the questions were not actually, made by community members. A solo developer named Philtacular on Twitter decided to post this, saying, so at Blizzard and at Future Game Show put out a Diablo 4 devs answer your questions video, but the questions seem off. Luckily, they included the handles of the people asking these questions so we can easily verify them. Surely nothing whack is going on in almost all of the questions, and all of the handles that they referred to were either completely made up, they either are brand new accounts, or they are accounts from like 10 years ago that have been completely inactive, that don't follow anyone or any company. So you can tell that they are almost all fake. Another great question. Thanks for putting couch co-op in the game. I imagine this makes development significantly harder. Why was it so important to include this in Diablo 4? This is a question I would expect to see at a Q&A about the Intellivision Amico, not about Diablo 4. But of course, it's only got one follower. It's only following one person, and it was an account created in May 2023. Whilst the older games certainly had a lot of multiplayer, they were absolutely viable single-player games. Do you feel this element will be lost with the ever-increasing push towards seasons and battle passes in Diablo 4? They clearly did all of this because they are afraid of what players would ask them. They know people are brutal towards them because they're constantly caught doing things that make consumers question their intentions, and this doesn't help. I love a lot of Blizzard properties, and I will be streaming Diablo 4 at launch since it's a AAA title, so many of you want to see me try out, but at the same time, it's situations like this, and they are why I make videos, because companies should be called out when they pull stunts like this. I get it. They have specific things they want to highlight about the game because ultimately they're only doing Q&As in order to sell more copies of their product. But if they're, walling players off completely, which they did here, it doesn't give us a lot of confidence in what they're creating. It seems, at least to me, like they've got something to hide. From loot boxes to faking Q&As, this is just more deception from developers in the industry. And this game is doing fantastically right now, according to critics. It's got an 87 Metascore. The critics are saying it is really freaking fantastic. It is much better than D3. You're really going to enjoy this. And there's really no reason to pull a stunt like this. But of course, ultimately, they did. And I don't have to remind you all of all the terrible things that Blizzard has done over the years, the things that they have been accused of. Here are just a few of the more recent ones. Blizzard Entertainment launches new LGBTQ Pride merch collection, and players speculate announcement was made to deflect from the Overwatch 2 PvE cancellation news, which I definitely agree with. Blizzard is constantly using Overwatch. It used to be 1 and now it's 2. As a way to deflect. They would do something exactly like this, announce Pride merch, or announce a new character, or, announce story details like a character's sexuality or backstory to deflect, and it does work a lot of the time because people do want to know what they're going to put into their games or say about their characters. We also have Activision Blizzard seeking to implement AI moderation and stricter rules to combat bad behavior following criticism from the Anti-Defamation League. And of course, I'm not going to go through it all, but all of the lawsuits that they are facing. They had faced, back in March of 2022, another lawsuit as current female employee alleges sexual harassment, retaliation, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. I mean, Blizzard just cannot get themselves out of the hole that they have dug. They are constantly making the wrong moves. They're constantly doing just genuinely stupid shit like this. Diablo 4 is a game a lot of people are very excited over. But again, when you wall players off and you say it's a Q&A for the players with your comments and they get called out like this, it just makes you question what they're hiding. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.